Welcome back to Grassroots Media, and welcome to this year's edition of the Gary's Paint Body Shop Steve and Gregg Show, where we cover everything on the court with the South Greene Lady Rebels basketball team. As always, I'm joined here with Lady Rebels head coach Steve and Gregg. Coach,
good to have you.
It's good to see you. It's good to get your NIL people to get you in here today.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. Shout out to Gatorade. I know you had it on here. We got to shout them out real quick.
Gatorade Zeros are sponsoring me.
Is berry the best flavor for you?
Think so.
If you had a Mount Rushmore of Gatorade flavors, what are they?
I can't go lemon lime because that's all you always drink those when you're sick.
Okay.
So you can't go lemon lime. So I'd say orange and fruit punch.
Okay.
Berry's a good flavor.
This is one that everybody has an opinion on. You either love it or you hate it. Cucumber lime Gatorade. What do you think of it? Not for you?
No, that belongs in the garden.
You think it belongs in the garden? I thought you were going to say belongs in the garbage.
No, belongs in the garden.
Well, Coach, let's talk about some basketball. You've started the season off right. You've had 4 games so far this year. You're sitting at 3-1 right now with wins over Cherokee, North Greene, and Johnson County. You've picked up 2 in the last few days over North Greene and Johnson County. I know those are 2 recent ones. So 4 games into the season so far. Tell me what you've learned about your team so far this season.
We're still learning every day. We didn't play in a Thanksgiving tournament, based off of what we did in the summer. It's the first time in 15 years that I've coached here that we never played, during Thanksgiving. And I just felt like after summer, we would probably need more time to gel and more practice time to get ready. Because a lot of times, there's a lot of upsets during, that early part of November. And, I just feel like it's sloppy. Games are sloppy that time of year. And so it's kind of paid off for us. I know practices have been a little mundane because we're in there practicing and everybody's playing, but hopefully we'll be playing when people are sitting around eating Christmas cookies because we're going to get in 2 Christmas tournaments. So, but we are learning from every game. We're learning something new, something to tweak, something to adjust on. So each game has been a different, puzzle per se.
Take me through those 2 wins against North Greene and Johnson County, too, because I know those are the 2 most recent games you played that are fresh on your mind because the North Greene game was on Saturday, and then you had the Johnson County game last night on Tuesday. So take me through both of those. I know North Greene was a great win because not only is it a county win, but it kind of broke North Greene's winning streak that they had going on throughout the season, and I think it took away their 0. You took away their 0. And then the Johnson County game, of course, being the first conference game of the year. It's always important to get that first conference win out of the way. So talk about both of those wins and how much you enjoyed those.
Yeah, both those games are home games. And, you don't want to lose them from your home crowd. And, North Greene, it's always a big hype game for the county, both sides. It's a prideful game. And, it looked like we were going to get run out early. It was like 9-2, and they were hitting everything they were throwing up. And we finally settled in, and I think, the shot in the first quarter kind of gave us some confidence and some adrenaline. Kids were playing with emotion, and I don't think we gave up the lead after that. I think we maintained the lead after that shot Madison heaved in there at half court. From that game, that was our 3rd game of the year. We've been really sloppy up to that point. So I felt like it was a more of a controlled game, and we settled our nerves there after that first quarter, and it seemed like it got better as the night went on. But also our legs started to dissipate a little in the 4th, and we were able to get loose, and we allowed more inside posterior touches. Hannah was able to get the ball in there a little deeper than we wanted late in the game, and I'm going to say a lot of that's fatigue possibly.
In Johnson County, you pick up a win over those, or win over them, not those. And, of course, it being your first conference win of the year in your first conference game, that's one of the most important ones. It's hard to pinpoint which game is the most important conference game of the season. A lot of times it is that first one, though, because if you lose that one, I'm sure the percentage to win the conference or to finish where you want goes drastically down according to how you want it to be. So getting that first one out of the way against Johnson County, how important was that for you?
Yeah, once again, it's a home conference game. You can't go win your season and be dropping games at home because, everywhere it's tough to play on the road in hostile environments. But you don't really know your opponents that well the first time around, so we're going to strategize a little more next time. And, we got a big one with Hampton coming up this week, and I'm not even laid eyes on them yet. So these early ones definitely mean a lot. I mean, every conference game matters, but just coming out of the gate strong and holding that lead early, because you can run into anything along the season, injury, sicknesses, and you're prone to lose an upset game here and there. So we got to take care of business at home.
And Johnson County also, you didn't have to make the trip up there. It was originally in Mountain City, but it was switched to down here. So were you more comfortable stepping into that game knowing that it was on your home court and you didn't have to make that long travel?
Yeah, I mean, that is a tough place to go. It doesn't matter what kind of team they have. It's just
that
jet
drive
lag.
really weighs on you.
It does, and it would have been nice to take that drive because it was a really nice warm day for December, but I guess we'll go and it'll be a foot of snow on the ground when we have to go up there. But it's always better to play those games early at home.
Worry about that day when that day comes. I know the one that you're worried about the most, though, is you've got Hampton coming up on Friday night. A big-time game. They were the ones that knocked you all off to win the district last year, so I know you've got that bitter taste in your mouth, wanting to exact revenge on their home court. Before we talk about that too much, though, as always, we need to get a word in from our sponsors first. So we'll be right back in just a minute to talk about that upcoming game with Hampton and the latter game with Crockett here in just a minute on Grassroots Media.
At Corner Pond, the friendly and knowledgeable staff has the experience necessary to help you out regardless the need. Have an item of value you'd like to pawn or sell? Corner Pond can help. They pawn numerous items of value, including firearms, tools, ammunition, silver, coins, and much more. When you walk through their doors, you'll find well-stocked shelves full of electronics, gaming systems, fishing and hunting equipment, car audio and accessories. And don't forget about the room full of guitars and basses and amplifiers, or their outside lawn and garden equipment. Corner Pond is a case knife dealer and carries numerous used knives as well. Stop by and let the friendly staff at Corner Pond help you today at 432 East Bernard Avenue, Greenville, Tennessee.
Pizza Inn offers contactless buffet to go with JoJo's Family Feast or anything on our menu for carryout. We also honor birthday parties and cater to businesses and large events. We make it easy. Call us today. Pizza Inn Greenville.
For more than 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has served customers in East Tennessee with licensed and professional plumbing services. From installing your new faucet to replacing your existing piping system, our team at Tommy's Plumbing is trained to handle the job with professionalism, attention to detail, and integrity. By offering warranties on most products installed by our technicians, Tommy's Plumbing stands behind our work, ensuring that your plumbing needs are not only met, but that your problem is solved for the long term. When you need reliable and professional plumbing service, Tommy's is the only call to make. So give us a call today and let us show you the Tommy's difference.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint Body Shop Stephen Gregg Show, where we cover everything on the court with the South Greene Lady Rebels basketball team. As always, I'm joined here with Lady Rebels head coach Stephen Gregg. So, got a big-time matchup on Friday night. I know it's one that you probably look forward to the most and the least because, of course, you've got to go up there to Hampton, which is one of the most hostile environments to play in, one of the toughest places to play. But it's also one of the most competitive games that you'll play all year and one of the most important games, traveling up there to Hampton against the team that won the district last year, the team that knocked you all off, and the one that took away your undefeated reign in the newly realigned district. So what's your mindset going into this game on Friday night against the Lady Bulldogs?
Just to get the girls focused and geared, ready to play that game, because that is a lot of people's favorite to win the district. They were the first to beat us, give us that district loss, and I don't know how many years. It's been a while, and I felt like they gained confidence as the season went on, and they had a very good team and a good run there late. So we know that it's going to be two competitive ball teams going at each other, two traditionally rich basketball programs. I've been to that gym to play volleyball. It's not their high school, and there's only bleachers on one side. So I'm going to be more curious just to see how everybody meshes in up there, amongst that bulldog blue and maroon. It could be crazy in there. That gym's very loud, what I remember in volleyball. So looking forward to a fun, exciting time, and hats off to Hampton. They've got a good record so far and played some good teams, so they will be ready, and hopefully I can get my team ready to show up and compete on the road.
That's one thing I talked about with Coach Hosey, and that I actually talked about with Coach Broyles too earlier this week, is with it being on a new floor, how much do you have to kind of adjust towards that?
Yeah, I think it's a lot brighter,
Okay.
what I remember, but just I guess just the visual, because we don't really play anywhere where there's only one set of bleachers. And kids, they can get lost in a moment. So at the end of the day, we're still trying to play basketball, and I think they'll be ready to go.
And Saturday, I know you haven't looked forward to that game as much yet because you've got that important game with Hampton coming up, but you do have Crockett at Crockett on Saturday, a team that a lot of people know about, a highly talented team with Aaliyah Story and with Tulloch and Ferguson on that team too. So when you step foot on the court with Crockett, kind of what's your game plan in that game?
Just hopefully we can compete and not get caught in the lights up there, because they're really good at home. And look at that schedule: Hampton on Friday, Crockett on Saturday, both road games.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, I think we got the Lady Vols on Sunday. I mean, it's maybe LA Sparks on Monday. It's a pretty tough schedule for us if you sit there and look all the way across at non-conference. We play as strong non-conference as anybody around. I mean, we got Crockett, we got Cott County, Granger, North Greene, Dobbins Bennett. I mean, I'd put that schedule up with anybody around here. So, it's opportunities. The way I look at it, iron sharpens iron. If you want to get good, you got to play people that are as good as you or better than you. That way your weaknesses can be shown, and it shows the kids, hey, maybe we do need to work on these things. It showed this game. So we just got to take it one game at a time, and we know it's going to be, a really tough back-to-back night, but we just got to take it, Friday most importantly, because that one is the conference game. But it's all opportunities to play the best around here.
It's one of the toughest two-game stretches you have throughout the season, because not only is it two of the best teams you play, but it's back-to-back nights too, and I know the fatigue will wear on you, and with it being a Saturday game, we know how Saturday games, you can never know what to expect because you don't have that daily routine of going to school and everything. But, of course, you're looking forward to that Hampton game on Friday the most right now before you look at that Crockett game and think about it. But outside of basketball, we've got the first 12-team college football playoff that was released this past week. We haven't had the chance to sit down and talk about football in a while, and I know you're a big football guy too. So what are your first thoughts on the first 12-team playoff?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think there's some people that don't deserve in there just because of their strength of schedule. I'm not an Alabama fan, so I'm not, going to
not too hard
campaign
over it
for them. No. But, it's something that they're trying to get right, and something that needs to happen. They need to expand the field, but, it don't matter how many teams you have. There's always going to be that one or two that you can campaign for that got left out. But, I do like those extra games that they're adding on.
It's crazy the times that we're in now where we're arguing for 9-3 teams to be in the playoffs, and used to we were arguing if undefeated teams could get into the playoffs. But nobody's ever going to be happy, and you're never going to have a perfect system. But with the 12-team bracket, if you've got the time, I'd like to go through and get your predictions for each game throughout the bracket.
Yeah, go ahead.
You've got Clemson at Texas in the first game in Austin. Who do you take winning that one?
Hook 'em horns.
I love that. Next game, you've got the Tennessee Volunteers going to Columbus to play Ohio State. Big-time game for the Vols. Who do you have in that one?
UT. You can't go against UT.
All right.
And I might be picking with my heart on that one, but
I don't think I've had a single Tennessee fan pick Ohio State yet. So
yeah, okay.
It'll be big to see if Tennessee can pull off that upset. Below them in the lower side of the bracket, you've got Penn State hosting SMU. Who do you have coming away with the win?
Yeah, SMU's overrated. Penn State.
Okay. I might be the only one that's riding the ponies right now. I think that they might make a deep run. In the bottom half, you've got the battle for the state of Indiana. You've got Notre Dame hosting the Hoosiers. Who do you have?
Indiana.
You got Indiana with the upset. I love that pick.
Yeah.
That's the first Indiana upset pick I've heard so far. I love it.
Yeah, Indiana. That coach, he's brash. I mean, state of Indiana. Everybody wants to pick Notre Dame just because their history, historical. Nah, Indiana.
I love it. Texas and Arizona State in the first quarterfinal game. Who do you have?
Texas.
Oregon and Tennessee.
Let's skip to the next one.
All right.
I hate to go against Tennessee.
You've got Penn State and Boise State.
I like the running back for Boise State.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going Boise State.
Okay, Coach Hosey did too, so I love that pick. You've got Boise State going to the semis. And who will they meet? Will they meet Georgia or Indiana?
Georgia.
All right. So, who's Texas playing? Oregon or Tennessee? Are we getting a battle of the UTs?
We're going to battle of the oranges.
All right.
Yeah.
And who you have coming away with it? Tennessee or Texas?
I think it's going to be Texas and Georgia in a rematch again, SEC.
All right. So, when Texas and Georgia play for the third time this year and the second time in Atlanta in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, who do you have lifting the trophy at the end of the night?
Hook 'em horns.
I love it. Hosey said the same thing. I gave him a fist bump. I got to give you one too. So, for all those that doubt Texas, at least you've got two here that don't doubt them. But, Coach, that's all I've got for you this week, Coach. Appreciate you sitting down with me. Look forward to talking next week. Hopefully talk about 2 more wins, but that's all we've got this week. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Steve and Gregg Show. Look forward to seeing you next week here on Grassroots Media.